I think we almost there. All right, hold on for 1 second, guys. All right. What up? You made 2021. I know this has been a rather hectic week, but this is the first full week of 2021. I was writing this up. Well, we'll talk about today, and I was gonna say that this is the first Friday of 2021. And it's not. The first day of 2021 was the first Friday, but I don't know why that's showing up, but okay. Go away now. Okay. Look, gotta make it work how you gotta make it work. Even if you're using an old iPhone that randomly does what you don't want it to do. So 2021 is here. I want to go over some stuff that I think is gonna be dope for this year. So we're gonna look at movies, we're gonna look at video games, we're gonna look at anime as well. Probably getting some topics as well where we're going through it, but let's go through it. So first thing I want to get to y'all with is American film, because this probably won't cover the Netflix and the Hulu and the Disney Plus shit, which if you guys were here for the Disney Plus thing I do it with the Game Awards, Disney Plus is going to drop a lot of shit this year. But let's go into what film-wise we have for this year. So this is the list of American films that are currently set to come out this year. So let's look. So we don't get films really till next week. The first big film I'm seeing on this list is a Netflix film, which is the Outside the Wire film. It's Anthony Mackie, Damson Idris, who's from Snowfall. If you don't remember, which Snowfall, one of the best shows out there. Very sci-fi-ish. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Anthony Mackie's playing an android military officer. So how it goes. Let's see, the director. What has he done? Directed The Rat. He directed 1408. The Escape Plan. Okay, so he's been on a lot of action-led movies, so it shouldn't be bad. We'll see how it goes. No Man's Land coming out this January. Born a Champion. Wrong Turn. Another one of those. I don't know why. Pretty much it for January. February. Cinderella, Malcolm and Marie. See if there's anything big coming out in February. I don't think there really is. Flying Ulysses, but that's a Disney Plus thing. Tom and Jerry, which is HBO Max. Okay, so we got two things. Nobody, Cherry. That's one of the 4 Tom Holland films that are coming out this year. It's a crime drama. Based on a novel too. So this could be. Oh, it's a Russo brothers film. Oh shit, this might actually be good. But it's only on. It'll be in theaters the 26th and on Apple TV March 12th. So yeah, and that's the thing I want to talk about as well with this. I think theaters won't probably be open, I'm being 1,000% honest, until mid-2021. If I'm being 1,000% honest with you guys, I think the way the pandemic is going right now, and they are rolling out vaccines, but London just went back into lockdown. The U.S. isn't far behind, even with us having the vaccine. Countries are being very responsible. Who's going to lockdown, who's not. We'll see. I think it'll be a while before we see theaters again. I wouldn't be surprised if theaters become a thing of the past now with streaming services. And now that there's so much demand for streaming services now, you don't really need to have a movie on in a theater anymore. I mean, we got into Wonder Woman last time we talked, but if you think about a good quality movie coming out, you want to charge premium for that, you could do that and then still make some money off of it. I mean, the Hollywood's taking a loss in general this year, but they'd be smarter to release this content holding on to it is going to kill you. So yeah, that's Cherry. I think it's going to be good. I think Tom Holland is a very good actor. I hope this doesn't burn him out with him doing 4 films, which we're going to cover over this year, the list of this year. But it's going to be a good year. And literally, as I said that, the following week, he has Chaos Walking, which drops, which has him, Daisy Ridley, Tom Holland, Mads Mikkelsen, Nick Jonas. This movie was supposed to come out years ago, actually, but that's going to be interesting. And then that week alone is going to be really interesting. That's the week of March 5th, my birthday month. But that week you have Coming to America on Amazon dropping for the free ball, which I'm looking forward to seeing that movie. I'm going to probably have to get with the crew and watch that movie. That cast looks ridiculously good. Chaos Walking, and then you have Raya and the Last Dragon dropping. And I think it'll be on Premiere Access, so it'll be $30. And I think this is what I think with this movie being a Disney animation movie, people will pay for it as versus to paying for Mulan. I think Mulan has so much bad rap behind it that people were like, I don't know. With this, I think it's become more accessible to have Premiere Access and pay for it. Plus, all these films are saying scheduled. Because again, we don't know if films are coming back to theaters or not. So really, if you think about it, the end of February is when things start really kicking off. So, Coming to America, Chaos Walking, Riding the Last Dragon. Next week, you have The Minis to Work, which is an HBO Max movie. And we'll get into them in a second. But you then have also The King's Man dropping that next week. Shit. You got The King's Man dropping, which is a prequel. From what I understand, so The King's Man is the third movie in the installment of Kingsman, but it's a prequel to the overall series. And I think the character you're following in The King's Man is, I believe you're following that one. They're going to eventually mention that one of the characters is the what is his damn name in the movie? Let's go back and look. Kingsman film. Okay, let's go back. Crew. Cast. Yeah, Harry Hart. I think they're following Galahad in the movie. Now they're saying here, Kingsman: The Blue Blood, and Vaughn in May 2017. Let's see. The Golden Circle was currently development. A sequel to the Golden Circle was currently in development. He and Goldman Rider mapped out. Oh, The Rock was supposed to be the villain? In September 2020 issue of Empire, the film was provisionally called Kingsman: The Blue Blood, a title later confirmed by Screen Rant. Oh shit, okay. So technically, the way it looks, The King's Man is a spinoff film along with Statesman. That's still in development somehow. But The Kingsman Blue Blood is the next film in the series. So that might not come out till 2023, 2024, or later, but that's dope. I did not know that. The more you know. Okay. The Miniseries of Newark is a crime drama film. Okay, who's doing this? Alan Taylor and David Chase. Okay, I'm interested. Alan Taylor is behind Lost, West Wing, 6 Feet Under. So pretty much anything that has been on HBO in the past 25 years. David Chase. Yeah, this is gonna be good. It's got a damn good cast. Alessandra Nova, Leslie Odom Jr. got me there. John Bertha, Corey Stoll, Michael Galifianakis. Oh my God, this Michelle De Rosa, Ray Liotta, and Vera Farmiga. Okay, I'm watching this. It's set in the 1960s, 70s in Newark, New Jersey during the 1967 riots, and the city is a battle for tensions between the Italian American and African American communities. Got me sold. I'm sold on watching that. Even though I'm not a big fan of HBO Max right now, I think their service is. I don't want to let their services set up, but I'll watch that. Next week, my birthday week. March 16th. If you want to donate to anything that I'm about, go to jtezla.bandcamp.com, spend money buying any beat packs there, and go from there. Morbius drops. Morbius finally fucking drops. I am very excited for this film because I think Morbius is going to be good. I legitimately think Morbius is going to be a damn good film. I think when Jared Leto was first casted as Joker and for the first Suicide Squad movie, I thought that was the worst casting ever. Not because Jared Leto's not a good actor, because certain actors aren't good for certain characters. You would never cast The Rock to play Thor. It just wouldn't work. He doesn't have he doesn't give up the vibe of Thor. And to turn a funny story, Tom Hiddleston, the guy that plays Loki, was originally casted to be Thor. There's actually a video of him doing the lines from the Thor movie as Thor. He was gonna bulk up to play Thor or play like Donald Blake who is the alter ego of Thor, which if you're reading the comic now, Donald Blake is a motherfucker. But I'm looking for this film because, for one, they're going more into the mystical side of things, with mystical but sciencey with Morbius. And I'm really interested to see how this turns out. The cast is really, really interesting because Matt Smith, who was the 11th Doctor from Doctor Who, is playing Locke, whose character is known as Hunger. And he's also a living vampire. What I think is going to end up happening, let's see. Jared Harris. Now I'm gonna bring him up in a second, but I think Lox's crown is a follower of Dracula, and I think either they're saying he's Morbius' friend who suffers from the same rare blood disease. I think it's the reverse. I think he's an actual vampire, and his blood disease is a reverse of that. He wants to be human. But do not be surprised, because this film comes out in March. Don't be surprised if Jared Harris' character is someone else in the Marvel Cinematic Universe related to Spider-Man. And with Alfred Molina coming back as Doc Ock, that rules out Doc Ock. I could see him coming back I could see Jared Harris playing a version of the Jackal, Simon Smythe. So this, again, they don't give his name out. They just say Morbius' mentor. Plus, I think that trailer, this movie was actually pretty fucking good. And the CGI looked amazing. Let's see. We're going into April. Okay. Here's what gets interesting, guys. Okay, so first off, we got No Time to James Bond film. It's the last one from Daniel Craig. Lashana Lynch is a part of this film. Hopefully they don't kill her off. Don't kill off the black woman in the film, and make her the next Bond and have her go forward with the Bond name. But the normal suspects are in this movie. Jeffrey Wright, Christoph Waltz, Ralph Fiennes. Rami Malek is playing the villain, so I'm happy about that. Peter Rabbit 2, who cares? Bob's Burger the movie. That's going to be funny. That is going to be funny as hell. But the film I'm concerned with in April, so far going as of right now, before we get to the rest of the list, in the rest of April, Mortal Kombat. Now, this, of course, makes me have to remind everyone of what's going on with HBO Max. So, this is one of the few films that was set to come out on a theatrical release, but is no longer coming out on HBO, but it's no longer coming out on theatrical release, and is going straight to streaming service. Oh, they changed it. Mortal Kombat is set to be scheduled to release on theaters and HBO streaming service by Warner Bros. On April 16th, the same day. They're really doing this. Okay, so the thing that's interesting about this is what happened originally was HBO went to Gal Gadot and Patty Jenkins, who starred and developed Wonder Woman 1984, which we talked about already. If you want to hear more about that and more of our rants, go to Team Chaos, TeamKayo's YouTube page. You'll see his full-on video with me, Black Girl Marvel, Team Chaos, and Is She Black or Asian, aka Lucia. Where we talk about Wonder Woman 1984, what we liked about it, what we hated about it, and how we felt about it. But essentially, to wrap this up, WB basically paid both Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot $10 million a piece for doing Wonder Woman 1984, and then said we're going to put all the other movies on HBO Max and streaming the same day, but none of them get that same kind of deal. So no one's getting any money out of this. And the way it's looking, there won't be any theaters to even release this in. And everyone's still pissed. They're still pissed about this. And I don't know how this is going to go. I am really excited for Mortal Kombat because, for one, James Wan's directed it. And based off of James Wan's, if you go back and watch Aquaman, the way they did the fight choreography in there, I trust him with doing this movie. The cast they have is amazing. For one, it's not white. Liu Kang ain't white. They have Ludi Lin, who playing Liu Kang. He was Zack in the 27 Power Rangers reboot. So again, don't worry about it. Don't watch it because it's a horrible movie. But he can do his own stunts. The person I'm really interested in, though, is Joe Towson as Bihan / Sub-Zero. Now, the reason I'm interested in is because he's one of my favorite shows that just ended recently, which was Cinemax's Warrior. If you have not watched Warrior, he is in there. He is Lee Yong. He is a badass in that show. And if he's bringing that to Mortal Kombat as Sub-Zero, it is going to be a really, really good movie. The girl they have, she looks like Sonya Blade. Jessa McNamee. Macabre Brooks is playing Jax. Okay, jump from DC to Mortal Kombat. Okay, they're tied together. I get it. That's a good person to play Kano. Josh Lawson was Guggenheim from House of Lies. He can act. He's funny. And Kano was twisted. I would love to see his interpretation of that. He's playing Shang Tsung. So Chen Han, if you don't remember, he was the Chancellor in Marco Polo, but he was also the Asian connection or the Chinese mob connection in The Dark Knight. The one that Batman had to go over to China to grab him and bring him back. That guy. He's playing Shang Tsung. And of course, Hiroka Sanada is playing Scorpion. Do I need to say anymore? He's playing fucking Scorpion. So, like, I'm really interested to see how that turns out. Additionally, Louis Tan is playing someone in the show, in the movie. If he's not playing Liu Kang or Kung Lao, the only other person I can see him playing would be maybe Smoke or Noob Saibot. That's about it, because I can't think of any other character he could play. But yeah, this one was going to be good just because, again, James Wan is on this film. I trust him with this film. Bios, Fatherhood. Fatherhood does have Kevin Hart and Alfred Woodard, and it's going to be funny. That would probably be a funny movie. A Quiet Place Part 2 is going to be fire. The Asset, Michael Keaton, Samuel L. Jackson, Maggie Q. Okay, I'm kind of interested. And then we get to May. And on the 7th of May, we get Black Widow, finally. Let's pray to God, knock on wood, we get Black Widow. Hopefully we can get it earlier than that. But there's nothing really else to say about Black Widow. I'm really interested in seeing how they're gonna make this work. So with streaming now being a thing, I don't think studios are gonna be in such competition with each other to. I'm not playing it right now, and I don't know what you're saying lies over, but okay. Streaming services don't really have to be in competition with each other as much. If you look at the movies that are coming out just in May, you have Black Widow on the 7th. You have Rumble, which is a WWE film, which is gonna be animated, but it'll still be cut to bring some money in. And then the next week you have Godzilla vs. Kong and Free Guy coming out the same day. I think with streaming, I think a lot of movies are gonna just stay strictly on streaming. They won't be shown in theaters. You don't really have to compete with each other anymore because, like, if you haven't seen Black Widow yet, and it's the week of Godzilla vs. Kong, you can watch Godzilla vs. Kong and then turn on Black Widow as a double feature at home within the crib, and then Free Guy on your own time if you want to. So I'm really interested in Godzilla vs. Kong. I'm really interested in how they're going to balance out their sizes because what we know, Kong, when we saw Kong in Kong Skull Island, they said he was still a baby. He was a baby, and he was damn near as big. No, he was smaller. He was about half the size of Godzilla. So that means, and that movie set in the 70s. So that means he'd have to be huge. But the question is, what brings him off the island? What could bring him off the island to where he has to fight Godzilla, but also fight whatever's coming. Let's see. My best guess is they're going to do. It's got Jessica Henwick in it. Okay. My guess. Okay, say a more rugged, a more aged Kong. Okay, so I'm gonna guess that I'm gonna see if I can find it. The creature that was in here. What was that creature called? King Ghidorah. I'm gonna guess they're going to do the metal version of him for that third movie. Like they do some nanite version of King Ghidorah for the third movie. And this is still in the Monsterverse series. Legendary's Monsterverse, which future. Okay, so we pretty much they've done 4 movies in that, which is Godzilla, Kong Skull Island, Godzilla King of Monsters, and then the next one is nothing as of right now. They were talking about doing a crossover with Pacific Rim, which would be dope, but we'll see. I'm interested to see how that turns out. That's gonna be a dope movie. Free Guy is gonna be hilarious. That's just Ryan Reynolds allowing his imagination to run wild. I'm not gonna. That's what we're gonna talk about. I'm not excited for. I'm not excited for Fast and Furious 9. I'm fucking not. I'm not. I'm sorry. When they initially announced the cast for Fast and Furious 9, I was like, oh, okay. John Cena's in it. He's playing the bad guy. Okay, cool. Then they were like, yeah, so he's Dom's brother. I'm like, what? Then they were like, oh, by the way, the character that everyone thought died in Tokyo Drift, what's that fucker's name? Han? He's alive. It's at a certain point, this series has to end. It has to end. Like, even his name isn't even Spanish. Like, Jacob. It's Jacob. It's Jakob. How? Unless they're going to sit here and say that Jacob, that's not his real face, and Jonathan is wearing someone else's face, so you really can't see him. I guarantee you, I call this now, that's going to be a joke. They are going to put this movie in some kind of capacity. They're going to put a can't see me joke in here in some kind of capacity. I know they are. Why is Mia even in here anymore? Like, Brian's gone. Okay, additionally, Lucas Black reported as Sean Boswell. Who was Lucas? Oh, the guy from Tokyo Drift. Okay, the main character from Tokyo Drift is coming back as Sean for the films. Bow Wow and oh my god, why? Let's see. Cardi B is in this film. Plays Lisa, a woman who shares a history with Dom. I'm guarantee that's in some kind of South country. Anna Sawa plays Ellie. Michael Rooker is in this movie. What the fuck? Finn Cole is in it. Ozuna. Okay, it's gonna be somewhere in Puerto Rico, of course. So that means we're gonna get a song with Bow Wow, Cardi B, Ozuna. Am I missing anybody? Maybe John Cena drops a few bars on there. And Francis Ngannou have been cast in undisclosed roles. Please let Francis Ngannou have a fighting role in that movie. If you just have him there as a bodyguard, I'm going to be pissed. As a future world champion, how dare you? Yeah, I guarantee you, Ola and Cardi B are going to have a song on this, and that'll be their song, and that'll be the anthem of the summer. Helen Mirren's in this. Oh Lord, you all have Oscars. What are you doing, baby? Okay. Cruella drops. I'm not really excited for Cruella. It's the same thing. Who cares? Let's speedball through these a little bit. The Conjuring. How many of that? The Conjuring comes out in June. What does act like comes out June 11th? That's gonna be interesting. Drops in June. Venom 2 drops in June. Oh shit, I forgot about Venom 2. July. Check the chat. What's going on in the chat? Damn, that's a July comes out with a banger. Starts out with a bang. Top Gun Maverick, Rise of Gru, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. By the way, first Chinese-American-led Marvel MCU film. Gonna be dope. The Forever Purge. Uncharted. Space Jam: A New Legacy. So the Space Jam movie that stars LeBron, that's going to piss off every Jordan fan ever. Barbara and Star go to Lamar. Who is that starring? That's being directed by Kristen Wiig wrote this movie. And Damon, it's got a Wayne's child in it. Okay, that's gonna be interesting. Tomorrow War, good. Jungle Cruise, The Green Knight. The Green Knight is going to be a good fucking film. If you have not heard about this film is going to be fucking amazing. But then that ends off July. August, Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad. It's going to HBO Max because God forbid we put in one of our leading films that is DC related, we don't get in the same deal we get Wonder Woman. And I almost bet the Suicide Squad will be better than Wonder Woman was. Hotel Transylvania 4, Respect, Don't Breathe 2. Okay. The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. That's going to be funny. If you have not seen The Hitman's Bodyguard, funny fucking film. It's basically just Deadpool in a suit. Who's in this movie? Ryan Reynolds, Sam Jackson, Salma Hayek, Frank Grillo. Oh, okay. Richard E. Grant, Antonio Banderas, Morgan Freeman. Oh, fuck yes. My nephews will like Paw Patrol. Yeah. Candyman. I'm not going to go see it. I refuse to. But if you like it, I love it. That trailer still spooked the hell out of me. That trailer scared the fuck out of me. I cannot hear that song Say My Name without thinking, yeah, that's going to bring up him. They're doing a biography on the Beatles. Okay. September. Just 4. Why? Resident Evil. Death on the Nile. Oh, that's the sequel to what's that film? That is a sequel to Guys killing me. Murder on the Orient Express. Okay, I watched that. They had a trailer for it too. They did have a trailer for it because it's supposed to come out last year. That'll be good. Let's see, and that pretty much ends September. October. Doom got moved to fucking October 1st. God damn. I feel bad for that film. That film looked really, really good, and they moved it back that fucking far. That is basically killing that film. The Addams Family 2, Halloween Kills, The Last Snake Eyes. That's gonna be Ridley Scott's gonna have a lot on his plate with the Last Duel. Let's see how he's doing the Alien show on FX with Noah Hawley directing it. Snake Eyes, November, Eternals finally fucking drops. I am so ready for this film. Eternals is to me what Guardians of the Galaxy is to everyone else that loves Guardians. Guardians was the first shot of Marvel going into space, and I love that film. I'm looking forward to Eternals even more because Eternals deals with more of the Game of Thrones type space opera stuff that we don't really see in Marvel. The cast they have is amazing. Angelina Jolie, Richard Madden, Gemma Chan, Salma Hayek, Brian Tyree Henry, Kumail Nanjiani, who got buff as hell for this movie. I need his workout plan. Lauren Ridloff. I think, is that the girl? No, which one is one of them is playing someone that's really important in here. Don Lee, Liam McHugh, Kit Harington. So we're from Game of Thrones. Richard Madden, who played Robb Stark, and you have Kit Harington, who played Jon Snow, of course, because you know nothing Jon Snow. A diverse cast was hired to play the Patronos, which includes Marvel's picture of an LGBT superhero. That's true. I'm trying to remember who's playing that character. Was it? It might be David Tyree. Yeah, Fastos. He's playing the first character depicted as gay. The first character superhero depicted as gay. Because technically, the Russo brothers, one of these Russo brothers, played a LGBT character in Endgame. Yeah, in Endgame. There was one character I'm looking for. What is her name? There it is. Lauren Ridloff. She's playing Makari. Now, the reason she's important because she's African American, but she's the girl that she's basically the Flash. But she's the first deaf superhero in the MCU. And they brought a person in, I believe, is she actually deaf? Yeah, she's a deaf actress. Oh my, that is something I'm looking forward to because of the fact that that's diversity on a scale that we have not seen yet. If you look at this cast, you have not many people that are white. You have a Bollywood star. You have a African American actress that is actually deaf. You have Brian Tyree Henry playing the first gay character in the MCU. You have a Spanish American character. You have Liam McHugh, who is one of the youngest characters to play a superhero in the MCU so far. You have a Korean American actor playing a superhero. And you have Gemma Chan playing arguably one of the best female superheroes to ever exist, and Cersei. This film is going to be really good, and I would definitely not sleep on this film. This is one MCU film that I am looking forward to more than probably Black Widow. I'm looking forward to this more than Black Widow because Black Widow, I know what I'm getting. I know what I'm getting with Black Widow because it'll be a spy film. With Eternals, it's a space opera, and I'm really looking forward to David. We'll talk about that later. A group chat. But I'm looking forward to Eternals. Eternals is gonna be dope as hell. Clifford the Big Red Dog, blah. Mission Impossible 7. Oh, I'm looking at, especially after the rant he went on regarding COVID-19. Wear your fucking mask. King Richard. That is the movie about this the Williams sisters, where Will Smith is playing the father. That's gonna be dope. That's another HBO Max film. Encanto. That's gonna be really interesting because they aren't really talking about that movie that much. They haven't even announced the cast yet. But I know Lin-Manuel Miranda is doing the music for it. That's November 24th. That's Thanksgiving weekend. Gucci comes out that same damn day, and that's about Gucci, of course. Lady Gaga, Adam Driver, Jared Leto, Al Pacino, Robert De Niro. That's gonna be an Oscar-nominated film. I can guarantee that. Okay, here's where the shit gets interesting. December, you have the following drop: West Side Story drops on the 10th. A new West Side Story that might do well, but who knows? The next 2 weeks where it gets interesting. You have the untitled Spider-Man Far From Home sequel going one-on-one with The Matrix 4. Now, the reason these two are interesting, especially just these two. Let's see if I can blow this up. Is they're literally 5 days apart. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because with these two, they are more likely going to go to streaming. If, and I'm just saying if, knock on wood, if the pandemic goes to next December and they're both on streaming, you're going to have an issue where literally it's a 5-day gap between Spider-Man Far From Home and The Matrix 4. So once again, just like this past December, you're basically pitting HBO Max against Disney Plus. Especially if Sony is able to work out a deal with Marvel to where they put it on their streaming platform. Now, do I believe Sony is going to allow Disney Plus to put the movie on their platform? I would say 40% yes. A 60% no. As of right now. Because Sony doesn't have their own. They don't have their own streaming service yet. Well, I'm sorry, they did have a streaming service, but they don't have it anymore. Could this be a way for them to resurrect their streaming service, which was PS View? Sure, but would they resurrect an entire streaming channel service for one movie? That's a good question. And then you have to also think about it from a standpoint of, could they do it for Morbius? Well, Morbius is expected to come out in March. So the question is, if Morbius is set to come out in March and they're only doing a theater release, what happens if there are, again, we're in January now. If theaters aren't available, how are you going to watch Morbius? Are they going to put it on demand? Are they going to put it to where if it's on the account, you can PlayStation Store account, you can watch Morbius for a premiere access? Like $30 on there? That's a good question. Especially seeing how Morbius ties directly into the MCU. Could there be a deal where I could easily see in a couple of weeks a deal being struck between Marvel and Sony saying, hey, if you put our two movies on here when they drop on their dates, we will extend the rights for Spider-Man for a couple more for more movies. Because again, with Morbius literally dropping in about 2.5 months, they gotta figure out something. And Morbius literally drops 2 weeks after Raya and the Last Dragon. Now, if you told me that it'd be hilarious if they did this. If you could somehow, I don't even know is Morbius rated R? What is Morbius rated? It might be rated R. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be rated either PG-13 or R. Well, you know what? I think it's gonna be rated PG-13. I don't think Venom was rated R. No, Venom wasn't rated R. No, it wasn't. It was PG-13. It's more of a win for Sony. Well, yeah, it's a win for both, really, because if Sony can somehow, if Marvel can somehow find a way to get that third movie onto their streaming platform, and Sony doesn't have to drop a dime for it, that would be that'd be incredibly smart for them. I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. Especially when you see that the movie literally has a major. Yeah, I'm sorry, it has two major MCU characters in it, in Happy Hogan and Doctor Strange. And they advertised it during their whole investors meeting. I could easily see them doing that. I wouldn't be surprised if that's something they're keeping close to the chest, and they didn't want investors to know about it just yet. But I could easily see them doing something like that to where they drop both of them on the streaming platform. Not so much Morbius, but Spider-Man, I can see that. I can see them dropping Spider-Man Far From Home, the third Spider-Man movie, on there, which still doesn't, again, that movie still does not have the official announcement that what's his name? The two people from the previous Spider-Man movies, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. They're still not officially announced on this film. People think they're gonna. Okay, so here's my thing about this movie, because I know people are thinking, "Oh, we're gonna get Andrew Garfield and we're gonna get Tobey Maguire's film, and we're gonna have a live action Spider." I don't think it's that, y'all. I don't think it's gonna be a live action. What I think is gonna end up happening, especially seeing how this movie leads in the multiverse of madness, do not be surprised if it's okay. It'll probably be Spider-Verse to a certain degree. It could easily be something to where the Peters are from different universes, and one of them is evil. Because again, as of right now, who is she even casted? No, she's not casted. What's her name? Emma Stone's not casted in this film. And if they're basing this off of, if Andrew Garfield is in this, you could do it to where Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man is evil. But I don't think they're gonna go that far. I do the multiverse thing again, like they did, like they hinted at in Far From Home. What I think the ultimate villain for this movie is going to end up being the Jackal. I think it's Jackal. I really do. I think it's the Jackal, because you could easily picture up an idea of, or it could be a dimension hopping Jackal. It could easily be it could easily be that, and or it could be Craven. No, not Craven. Mobius. Is that his name? Yeah, Mobius. I think that's the name. I mean, this film is going to be interesting because I don't know how they're going to do this film. And they're saying this leads right into Multiverse of Madness. But we'll see how this turns out. The movie is going to play out in general. But that's pretty much movies for 2021. But of course, we will be remiss without going to video games. So let's check out the video game for this year. Give me 1 second. So, video games. Now, of course, people are still trying to get PS5s and Xbox Series X's with no avail. And if you're able to get one, fuck you. But there's a lot of games coming out this year, I want to say. As of right now. So let's see. In a couple of weeks, we got I'm sorry. Literally next week, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World will drop on the newer systems. That's dope. It's a remaster of the old game. As some of my friends know, I'm not the biggest fan of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Scott Pilgrim, the movie. That's a whole different argument. I'm not gonna get into it. But yeah, that should be good. Nothing really big drops after that until The Medium, which is Xbox Series X's first big game. It has to be a hit. It has to be. It really does, because Xbox doesn't have any big hits right now. They came out to play with nothing that was like significantly new that was theirs. You know, like Assassin's Creed was a multi-platform, was a multi-system game. Cyberpunk was a mess. Spider-Man was PS5 and PS4. Yeah. I don't know. The 29th, ReZero. That's a really good anime. Game? I don't know. Trying to see. Okay. They're dropping the entire No remastered 1 and 2 on PS4 and PS5. Okay. I knew we were going to get something. February 11th, Little Nightmares 2. Y'all, if y'all have not played this game is literally nightmare inducing. It is one of the funnest games I've ever played, but it definitely involves you being careful. I will give you that. Let's see. Super Mario 3D World Browser plus Bowser's Fury. Okay. That's on February 12th. Nothing big until into the middle of later in the year. Okay, let's see. March 18th. Prince of Persia: Sands of Time a remake. Okay. That's a win, because that game has been begging to get remade. It's being done by Ubisoft Boom, which is one of the smallest studios for Ubisoft. So it's not a big studio doing this. They're just remastering the game. They're not doing a lot with this game. It's a 1-for-1 remake, pretty much, of the original game, which is cool. The original game was still the funnest game I've ever played. But March 26th, Monster Hunter Rise is coming to the Switch. So the Switch has their own version of Monster Hunter. This game looks fun. Actually, the demo is out now, and it's available until February 1st. For everyone I've heard that's played it, it's saying that the game is fun as hell. It's different from World in the standpoint that it's more acrobatic. It's a lot more acrobatic. You get a beast you can actually ride in the game. Your pallet goes with you. The training room is now available to 4 players at once. So now, if you have a squad that you run with, you can actually practice moves together and practice like takedown sets. The weapons got better. When I played World, I was more of a longbow user. I'm sorry, not a longbow. A light bow gun user, and also a heavy sword user. I'm sorry, long sword user. So the weapons they made the weapons even better, and they also added this like web feature you can use. That I can't really explain what it is, but it like allows you to swing around more, like quicker. But it also gives you ability to. In World, you could ride the monsters if you attack them and you landed a blow on them. Like you could ride them and inflict more damage. This allows you to somehow ride them and like mentally control them to a degree. Like there was one point someone was on a Tigrex, which is like, think of like a dragon-like tiger. The person, like the footage quite literally had to where the guy was. Let's just actually let's go to it. Monster Hunter Rise footage. Okay, let's go to it real quick. Because I know it's on YouTube. Let's see. Because if you want to know how to look up a lot more stuff for Monster Hunter, I would say also follow channels like Eric's Gaming on YouTube. Maximilian Dodd, who is hilarious on YouTube regarding his Monster Hunter videos. Monster Hunter videos are hilarious. I've watched them for a long time. Here it is, wyvern riding. This is what I want to talk about. It's because it's the wire, but the thing's called the wire bug, which allows you to swing around like a Spider-Man. But I want to go to wyvern riding and why this is really, really dope. So you get to do this with pretty much, I want to say you can almost do this with every monster in the game, but you can ride the creature to the point where like you're pretty much control. Let's see. If I can do this. If it will allow me to. Hold on. It's not allowing me to. Okay, hold on. Okay. Let's see. Okay, there we go. All right, so this is wyvern riding. So what's dope about this? I'm gonna guess you can pretty much use it with every creature except like the bigger legendary creatures in the game, but like you're controlling it. You're fully controlling it, and if it has a projectile attack, you can use that during a hunt. So imagine you run into like a dragon, right? That shoots like poison damage or shoots fire damage. I'm guessing this is when it's incapacitated. Okay, when it's incapacitated to actually knock it out first. But you see how much it gives you so much time to actually ride the thing. So if you build up enough, if you have a 4-man squad, you could pretty much run together and just constantly do that. And monsters in the area take out other monsters. Because World had that issue. World had the issue where you'd be on the hunt one monster, and another one you weren't even trying to hunt, or you didn't even know about yet, will show up out of nowhere and attack you. And it was horrible. But this LC helps it out because you could ride this thing, take out the monster you were planning on taking out, and if need be, you can cause a turf war between those monsters, and what'll happen is it'll weaken both of them. So if I'm running a 4-man squad and I know for a fact the monster we're supposed to hunt is coming down for the count, my teammates could go attack the other monster, get any supplies they can off of that, and then once the hunt's over and we either kill or capture the thing, we share the bounty, and then everybody wins. I am liking this version of Monster Hunter. I'm not gonna front. I thought they took what was wrong with World and made it so much better. And this might be one of the few games I actually will stream. I'm contemplating. This might be a game I stream. This might be a game I have to stream. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Monster Hunter. Let's try and get back to the list if we can. Okay, let's go back to the list. Okay, so back on the list. So yeah, that's Monster Hunter comes out this March 26th. I will be copying that. I will probably be doing that soon. Guilty Gear Strive drops April 9th. I'm not a big Guilty Gear fan, me personally, but I know a lot of people that are. I hope y'all love it. Nier Replicant version, blah 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 blah. I've never played Nier. I have a friend that loves Nier. I'm glad she does. I hope she likes the game. Deathloop is going to be fun. Tezla is going to be fun. And it's one of the last few that was guaranteed for the PS5 after the whole Microsoft buys Bethesda and everyone that works under them kind of thing. And that's pretty much it for the releases that are scheduled in 2021, because everything else is pretty much doesn't have a schedule. Apex Legends was supposed to get a Nintendo Switch drop. That's going to be dope. I hope that's sooner than later. Let's see what's coming out next year. That we know what's coming out next year. We know we're getting a Ultimate Edition of Control, which is going to be on Xbox Series X. I don't think they deserve Control, because Control is a great game, but let them have it. Cyberpunk 2077 is supposed to have an update somehow for PS5 and Xbox Series X. I could care less. I mean, Cyberpunk is pretty much a dead game as far as I'm concerned. It's not a game I'm looking forward to even looking at anymore. Evil Dead, the game, is going to be dropping soon. And that's dropping on all systems. Damn, that's all systems. Okay. That should be dope. Far Cry 6. I'm interested in that one because that was announced and it was supposed to come out, I think, either next week or the week after. And they pushed it back. So I'm really interested in how good this game is going to be. It could be Game of the Year worthy. I wouldn't be surprised if it was. Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. This is the one that's PS4 and PS5. This is an updated, more realistic version of Five Nights at Freddy's. No, I'm good. Five Nights at Freddy's scared me the first time I played it. I refuse to do it again. Ghostwire Tokyo. I will be getting that. I don't know how I'm going to play it, but I will be getting that. The game looks even more interesting than it did before. And now that I know it's a PS5 only, and it won't be on console for Xbox Series X. It will be on Windows, but it won't be on console for Xbox. That's going to be interesting. But of course, we talk about the God of War sequel. I don't know what the story is. I don't care to know what the story is. All I know is that game is coming soon. Now, it says on here PS5. From what I'm hearing, it's going to be on PS4 and PS5. From what I'm being told, a lot of the core games that are going to be for PS5 are Sony only, are being made to also be for PS4 as well. Because with the pandemic, they don't think a lot of people are going to be able to get the PS5 instantaneously. Or quickly at that fact. If you look at how the PS5 pretty much sold out last year around Christmas time, it was ridiculous. So I wouldn't be surprised if God of War, Horizon Zero, Horizon Forbidden West, whatever that Capcom game is they showed off at the Sony State of Play last year, Returnal, if all those games aren't PS4 as well, because Sony doesn't have to rush into the next gen so quickly. I understand that both Xbox and Sony have next gen consoles, but rushing isn't needed because of the fact that we're in a pandemic. If we weren't in this, then this should be a PS5 only game, and then maybe you put one of those games on PS4. Maybe it's Horizon. Maybe it's or in all honesty, between Returnal, God of War, and Horizon, Returnal should be the PS4 game if we were under normal circumstances. But unfortunately, we're not. So with that being said, I think all three will be PS4 games. And in all honesty, the closer we get to those launch dates, and they say they are not just PS5 only games, that gives me more time to save up and get a PS5, because I can take my transfers over to PS5 if I want to. I think I'm halfway through Horizon, so I still got time, and I've beaten God of War to death. Like, I could pull out facts about that game out of my ass if I felt like it. Like, for example, if this is a spoiler, if you once you beat, if you early in the game, when you go to Freya's house, you can see her Valkyrie wings behind the door when you're leaving the house the first time. Freya is a Valkyrie that you're gonna have to fight probably in the second game. But and there's so much they have not talked about in the first game that they left out. They left out 3 to 4 realms. What the fuck's gonna happen between Atreus and Kratos? How that works out? We have not seen Odin yet. We haven't seen, is Tyr alive? Who called the horn after Kratos took Atreus back to Freya? How did Kratos get to the Norse mythology? All that kind of stuff. That'll be a good game. Gotham Knights is gonna be fun. I think that's a multiplayer game too. You play online. So that'd be dope. I don't even have to explain that one really. Gran Turismo 7, GTA 5. I wish they would just drop GTA 6. Just drop GTA 6 and get it over with. We care about GTA 5 anymore. Halo Infinite. Now, from what it says on here, it's saying third quarter, fourth quarter. The fact that they're waiting that long to drop Halo Infinite is not a good thing. I think they should, that this game, while I don't want them to crunch and rush a game that doesn't need to be rushed, you knew that was a launch title and you pushed it back. The difference between Sony and Microsoft when it comes to this issue is when they were setting up to drop the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, you knew for a fact that Sony was going to bring something that was off the wall, something that we didn't expect, and you knew that Microsoft was going to have Halo. Microsoft didn't have Halo, but Sony said we're going to drop Miles Morales. Nobody was expecting a Miles Morales game to come that soon. Almost 2 years after the fact? Nah. So I'm hoping the game turns out well. That you've had about a year worth of time of development. It should be good, but who knows? So Hogwarts Legacy and Horizon Forbidden West. Now they're saying on here Horizon Forbidden West is Hogwarts Legacy and Horizon Forbidden West are PS4 and PS5 games. Hogwarts Legacy is also an Xbox game. Okay, interesting. I'm not really interested in Hogwarts Legacy, to be honest with you. I think it's basically just it's gonna look like I hate saying this. It'll be almost like a Fortnite kind of situation with Hogwarts. I think it's gonna be the main, like the mess hall or the hall in Hogwarts will be like your open lobby to meet up to do different missions, and then you go from there. That or your house, which I wouldn't be surprised if they make all four. Like if they make it to where you can go to any house, like, but you have to advance your character so much to go to any house. I won't be surprised if they end up using that kind of model for that. Kingdom Bridge of Spirits is going to be on PS4 and PS5. That's going to be interesting. That's going to be a really good game. King of Fighters 15 doesn't have a system yet, but they teased it yesterday. Okay, fine. I don't know why they wouldn't. Metro Exodus is coming soon. No More Heroes 3 on the Switch. Our World Soulstorm is a PS4 and PS5 game again. See what I mean? Let's see what else. Psychonauts 2. Psychonauts 2 will be on everything except for the PS5. Interesting. That's really interesting. It's an Xbox Game Studios game, but it won't be on the PS5. Okay. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. Now, if you were to say any game was going to be a PS5 only, that'd be the one. I think they're going to do the same thing they did with Demon's Souls. Demon's Souls, I think, was only for PS5. And I think they'll make Ratchet & Clank the same thing. Let's see. Returnal, where's Returnal? Is Returnal on this list? Returnal isn't on this list. Interesting. Scarlet Nexus, which is pretty much just all Astral Chain, just for main consoles. That'll be coming soon. Okay. I can't see anything else. Spelunky comes to the Switch. Okay, that'd be dope. Spelunky 2, which one of my friends knows. She's an asshole in that game. I love her, but she's an asshole. Okay. Time Clancy's Rainbow Six Quarantine. It's up on PS4 and Xbox. That's a Vampire the Masquerade games. God damn. I think that's pretty much it. Oh, they are doing. Okay, no, I'm sorry, never mind. I forgot to mention that Uncharted comes out next year for movie wise. I forgot to mention that. That's on July 16th. Games, but there are games I think that are going to come back. Are going to come out next year. I think we're going to get a. I think we're going to get another Assassin's Creed game. I would not be surprised if we get that before the end of this year. And I think it will be based in Japan or China. I think that God of War will probably drop around August of this year, and Horizon Forbidden West will drop as your Christmas drop this year. I think we'll get announcements for bigger games. I think we're going to get announcements for the next Uncharted game. I think we're going to get an announcement for another. I think we'll get more footage into the Perfect Dark games. I think Final Fantasy 16 will get a full demo drop before the end this year. I think Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 2 will be announced this year, but will not give a date. I think they aren't close to getting it done. I think they aren't. I think Square needs to take a minute and back the hell up for a hot second, because Square has taken losses this year, this past year, 2020. Avengers did not hit the way everyone thought it was going to hit. Avengers was not a good game. Like, Avengers was fun if you're in a party, but if you're not in a party with like actual teammates you play with, it's not a fun game. Someone I know personally just texted me and asked, why are Nintendo Wii expensive? Okay. The Wii shouldn't be expensive anymore. The Nintendo Wii? Or you mean the Switch? And if you mean the Switch, then I'm going to need you to like learn your lingo better. Because a Nintendo Wii right now, if a Wii is $65 on eBay and $179 at Walmart. But who the hell's buying a Nintendo Wii? When you can buy a Switch, which, well, sure, that costs more, but it's better. It's just a better system. The Switch is $200. No, sorry, it's not $200. It's $300. But if you get, well, okay, it depends. If you're getting a Nintendo Switch that's just the Switch on its own, like the Nintendo Switch console, is $299. If you're getting the Switch Lite, which is just a candy bar, pretty much candy bar model of a system, is $200. The difference between the Lite and the regular Switch is the Lite one you cannot. Where's my Switch at? So if I pull this up real quick. So this is my Switch. For anyone that doesn't have a Switch. The reason the difference between the Switch Lite and the Switch regular is the Switch regular has the Joy-Cons. So you can take these, and everyone that has a Switch knows this already, but for people that don't, the Switch, for all my older people that are watching this, the Switch, a regular one, has the Joy-Cons. So you can take them off at any time. This has a prop on it right here, this little thing right here, where you just prop this up, sit it on your table, and just watch it. Plus, also with this, you can dock this and play it to your TV. The light you cannot. The light is more meant for people that are on the go, actually, and want to game. It's not meant for gamers that are going to go home. Give me 1 second, y'all. So that's pretty much why. I think while we're talking about that, I think we're gonna get a Nintendo Switch Pro. I think that will be announced at probably the middle of this year and will drop in during Christmas. But back to the list. Yeah, I think that's gonna end up being. I think there'll be a lot of announcements this year. I think I would be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a Metal Gear Solid announcement. That's with the movie being shot. I wouldn't be surprised to get a Cyber Filter announcement. There was a Black Sun Sons of Wukong game that was about the Monkey King that had a trailer for drop like last year. That was really, really dope. That'll probably get a date dropped. And it might be a console only game. I'll be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if that was an Xbox only game whatsoever. I wouldn't be surprised. But that's pretty much it for video games. The last thing we have to cover before we head out of here is anime. So let's go over to anime, which is one of my favorite things to talk about. All right, anime. Just this year alone, movie-wise, there's a lot of dope movies coming out. Actually, one comes out literally in 2 weeks, which I'm looking forward to, but I can't go see it. Gintama the Final drops. Actually dropped today, actually. Whoa, that and Sailor Moon Eternal. Holy shit, I did not know that was dropping today. Okay, that's part 1 of that. Okay, that'll be dope to watch. Part 2 drops in February. Okay, dope. The movie I'm looking forward to seeing, though, is Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0 thrice once upon a time. They were never going to call this movie the 4th movie, but it's like the second half of the 3rd movie. If you have not watched the Evangelion movies recently, the 2nd and 3rd one, really the first, 2nd, and 3rd one retell the original anime, but to a different degree, to where the story ends different than the original anime did, and it continues on from there. It's animation wise, it's really amazing to watch. I personally love it. It's gonna be a good year for movie wise. Shin Chan's getting another movie, another Mobile Suit Gundam movie. Okay. Okay, so that's movie wise. Okay, TV wise, let's go through TV. Part 2 of. Okay, first off, for my homegirl Molly, Beastars season 2 drops January 7th. So it dropped yesterday, actually. ReZero dropped its second half of its season 2 yesterday on Wednesday. ReZero, if you have not watched it, imagine someone showing you Edge of Tomorrow, just a lot bloodier and a lot more tragic. This anime arguably has one of the most gruesome ways to end an anime I've ever seen in my life. Almost like what the fuckery moments. The main character of the anime, so to give you kind of a synopsis of the anime. The main character he's pretty much a nobody. Gotta be about 13, 14 years old. He's leaving the store. He has a bag of food, like any store kid would. Any kid leaving the store would. Walk across the highway. Bright light hits him, and he gets transported to a different world. He naturally realizes that this is a video game, so he treats it like a video game. Now, he thinks he has special powers. He doesn't, except he does. So he dies. His power is every time he dies, it resets the day in the video game world. He doesn't realize until late. The problem is, though, every death is more and more gruesome. But there's literally a point in the first season, he has an actual breakdown, like a literal psychiatric break. The worst part about it is whatever's doing this to him, he can't say it to anyone in that is there. Every time he tries to, it tries to kill him. On top of that, every time he dies, when the day resets, no one remembers him. So he has to start the day all over again and use the knowledge of the days of what's happening. Thanks, Clubhouse. To essentially save himself and the day. It's incredibly dope. But the scene I'm talking about is a scene where the main character is carrying back one of the female leads in the show back to this area back to a castle, and the castle's covered in snow. Everyone's dead, and he's losing it. He's like, "What the heck did this?" And the girl in his arms is dead. So he looks up. So he falls to the ground while holding this girl. In the back shot is the castle, and the castle's top explodes, and out comes this giant creature. And the character's head slowly turns toward the castle, and the creature says, "You can join my daughter in sleep." And the next shot we see is the main character, and we literally see a shot of the castle, then the character, and the character's head just plops off. And the credits just roll like it's a movie. And while the credits are rolling, the snow begins to cover the person's body. And the end of the show literally ends with the kid waking up again. It is one of the darkest animes I have ever watched. But God, it has an amazing story. So that is ReZero. Let's go into what else has come out this year. Okay. So that Work Season 2, which is pretty much just Osmosis Jones. Let's see. Bungo Stray Dogs comes back on January 12th. Seven Deadly Sins, which is the Netflix anime now. Even though it's not really Netflix, didn't jump on Netflix first, but okay. The one I'm looking for, though, is, of course, on March 27th. Because March 27th, we get My Hero Academia Season 5. Now, if you are a My Hero fan, if you've been reading the manga, I can say this with absolute certainty, and you know I'm telling the truth. And I want to make sure I'm looking at the camera when I say this. None of you, and I do mean none of you, turn this down a bit, none of you are ready for the shit you're about to see in My Hero. If you thought Season 4 was badass, oh dear mother of God, Season 5 is ridiculous. Especially if they catch up in Season 5 to where they caught up now in the manga, where they are right now. Oh dear God. Like, put it like this. The last season of My Hero, everyone thought that the season was going to end with the school festival. Everyone thought the season was going to end right there. Deku fights Gentle. And then that's it. Nothing else was going to happen. Nothing else. No need to show anything else. Show some filler stuff, all that kind of stuff. Nope. We're going to show the Endeavor fight versus the Nomu. And then to end the season off, we're going to show Deku seeing a vision. When I tell you all, I sat there with an open mouth like, oh shit, they're going there this early. And if they're doing that for the fourth season, they pretty much cut, like, in that fourth season, they had to cover at least 50 chapters at minimum between all the arcs they covered. You got to think about what they covered. They covered the overhaul arc. They covered the school festival. It covered way too much, and I was very surprised by how much they covered. Again, you all are not ready. Like, I would almost suggest you read the manga to catch up, but I almost don't want you to. Because they've been very faithful to the manga so far in the series, the anime. There was one scene in season 4 that they weren't faithful to, but I can't spoil that. But I will say this: everything you'll see in season 5 has been hinted at in season 4. Everything they showed in season, they might show in season 5, will show in season 4. And if you don't see, and trust me, I will say this much: the first arc they will more likely go into in season 5 was hinted at in the overhaul arc in the outro. The outro is a big hint towards season 5. That's the only thing I will give you. So to go back to the list, Bones is doing a Godzilla anime. Oh, that's gonna be really interesting. I might watch that. And that comes out in April. Okay. Shaman King is coming back. I forgot about that. Shaman King is coming back in April, and they're having Bridge do it. Now, what has Bridge? Bridge they've done Fairy Tail, they've done Yu-Gi-Oh. Okay, I'm interested. Okay, that might be good. The World's End. That should be pretty good. By the way, you guys should be watching right now are Attack on Titan. Rio, which is currently still on. Jujutsu Kaisen. Just watch anime. Say that. Let's see. I'm trying to think of anything else before we head out. Bleach is coming back this year, which I don't know how they're going to redo Bleach. I really don't know how they're going to do Bleach after the way it ended. And it ended pretty perfectly. Like, Bleach, the only thing that they didn't end right in Bleach was they didn't do the last arc. That was really it. And you would think if they're doing Bleach again, are they like so full disclosure, when Bleach ended, it ended minus one major arc. The next arc that came after the last arc they did in Bleach, which was the Visor. No, not the Visor. That was the Fullbringer arc. The next arc in the manga was the Quincy War, or the second Quincy War, which they were going to bring back the League of the Quincy's. And then that involved the Soul King and Ichigo in a way, which I'm not going to spoil. But then again, I should spoil because it's been out for so many years. But they only had one arc left to go. And then the next one that dropped after Bleach was Burn the Witch. And now they got 3 episodes. So you would imagine Burn the Witch would be the next thing they will highlight. But I don't know. I'm really interested in what happens. I really want to know who's doing the show. Like, that's my biggest thing. Okay, so who's doing the show? Now, I did hear that it was anime I'm looking forward to seeing. But it's called Spy. It's supposed to be coming out this year as well. It's getting an anime made for it. And then also another anime that I'm looking forward to is supposed to be called Chainsaw Man, which Chainsaw Man is fucking hilarious and bloody as hell. Imagine someone took Chainsaw Man. To me, if I had to be honest with y'all, Chainsaw Man is a combination of there's an anime literally called "Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon?" Yes, it's very wrong because they're probably weird as hell. Chainsaw Man is a combination of Hellsinger Bridge and My Hero. If that is to put it as weird as possible, there's an anime that's what we call, it involves the word spy, but essentially it involves a family that seems normal, but the issue is the father is a spy from a different country that's spying on the leader of the country he's in via the leader's son. So he adopts a girl who seems regular, but turns out she has telepathic powers, and learns that he's a spy, but then also learns that his fake wife / her fake mother, who is just some random woman that he found on the street and wanted to get married, he marries her as part of the lie. But it turns out the woman is an assassin. So the child isn't threatened, isn't scared at all. If anything, the child's like, "Oh, cool." So everyone tells me the manga is hilarious. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm really looking forward to seeing who takes over it. Right now, to me, in terms of animation, there's some great animation. Like all the studios that are here are amazing. But I will say, right now, the top studio right now is either Bones or it is MAPPA. What MAPPA is doing, y'all, with Gata High School that came out last year, which actually ended the season coming soon, with Gata High School, with Jujutsu Kaisen, with the final season of Attack on Titan, they are doing the Lord's work when it comes to animation. I've never seen such good animation for action scenes. Hell, you could teach a master class on animation just on the first episode of the last season of Attack on Titan. The way you somehow find a way to blend CGI with hand-drawn animation and make it look like it's not CGI, but you still have that weird feeling that it is CGI, is really, really good. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with that, especially what's coming up with Attack on Titan. Bruh, it's going to be really, really interesting what happens. I cannot wait to see that. Other than that, before I head out, we have some stuff planned. I know you haven't heard any beats from me on my Instagram or YouTube and like that. Essentially, I took a 3-week break. I did beats over the week of Christmas that covered the 3 weeks. So it covered the week of Christmas, the week after Christmas, which was New Year's week, and they covered this past week. So all the beats are there. It's pretty much the Tezla Twitch tape part volume 2 and Lo-Fi Must. They cover these past 3 weeks. We will start up again for beats next Saturday. No, I'm sorry, because I'm gonna shoot for next Friday. No. I'm sorry. Not next Friday. Next Sunday. I'll put out an announcement on my social media about it. How the date got moved, but next Sunday, the next tape will drop. The next beat by Tezla will drop. It'll be week 31. It'll be the anime and beats tape that I've been talking about on my social media. But yeah, I'm gonna get back to it. I'm in the process of trying to get something very, very cool music-wise here. That if you watch the last one I did for 2020, I'm trying to get soon. So when we get that, there will be an unboxing for it. But I did get the unknown because it might not get here till February. So hopefully we're able to get it soon. And then once we do, we go from there. But the next stream will be next Thursday. Next Thursday will be our next stream. That will be, if I look at my handy dandy calendar. Next Thursday, that's just kicking it. So we're gonna just kick it, talk some shit, talk some shit about some shit. Whatever news drops, not political, because you have way too many channels for that. We'll talk about shit like that, and then the following Sunday, which I was gonna drop the tape on Sunday, give myself a little bit of a break. But I'm gonna live make the beats live and then drop the tape that same day. Yeah. So anime and beats will drop on January 17th, the same day I make it. I hope you all enjoyed the stream. I'm about to get some rest. You'll have a good night. We are in 2021. Hope you all made your resolutions. Keep to them. Stay strong. I will let me put myself back in full screen so you all can see what I'm saying. Have a good year. We'll be here doing what I do. Yeah. See you guys on the flip side. Peace and much love.